The cafe smelled like ambition and butter, coffee to wake you up, croissants to convince you life isn't so bad after all. I settled into my favorite corner, laptop open, yet my thoughts were scattered like sugar packets on the table. Just as I took a sip of my brew, the bell above the door jingled, and in walked Maya. Time seemed to freeze as my gaze locked onto her. She wore a white bodysuit that clung to her like a second skin, innocent yet provocatively alluring. The fabric hugged her curves in all the right places, making it impossible to focus on anything else. Her long hair cascaded down her back, and when she tossed it over her shoulder, I nearly dropped my coffee. If I'd been wearing a hat, it would have flown off in slow motion. Maya sauntered to the counter, exchanging smiles with the barista. I tried to refocus on my work, but her laughter, light and musical, pulled my attention like a magnet. Who knew coffee could be so distracting? I had to play it cool. After all, I was a charming travel writer, not some bumbling fool. But as she turned and caught my eye, I felt my heart race like I was running late for a flight. Nice day for coffee, isn't it? I attempted to sound casual as she approached the seating area, but my voice came out sounding more like a nervous parrot than a suave romantic. Depends on what you're having, she shot back, her teasing grin sending my heart flipping like the hem of her skirt on a breezy day. Just as I was about to respond, a sudden gust of wind from the cafe door whipped through, sending my napkin fluttering toward her. In a flurry, I stood to retrieve it but miscalculated and knocked my coffee cup over. The rich liquid splashed across the table, narrowly missing her, but claiming my laptop in its wake. "Oh no," I exclaimed, scrambling to mop up the mess. "I promise I didn't plan this." Maya's laughter bubbled over, infectious and bright. "Well, if this is how you impress girls, you might want to reconsider your strategy," she teased, raising an eyebrow at my flustered state. "I usually have a much better track record," I replied, forcing a grin while my cheeks heated. As I cleaned up the coffee, I caught a glimpse of her notebook peeking out from her bag. Intrigued, I asked, "What's that?" "Your travel journal." She hesitated, glancing at it with a mixture of pride and caution. "It's more of a collection of musings and sketches. I'm just a humble wanderer jotting down my adventures, not that you'd find them interesting." "I'm a travel writer myself," I blurted. "I promise I'll keep my coffee contained this time." Maya looked me over, assessing whether I was worth the gamble. "All right," she relented, pulling the notebook from her bag, "but only if you promise not to spill anything on it." With a grin that felt like a victory, she passed it to me. I flipped through pages filled with whimsical sketches and snippets of her travels, each one brimming with personality. There was something intimate about it, sharing her world with a stranger over spilled coffee and laughter. And oh, those sketches. They were like tiny portals into her life, full of whimsy and wonder. As we continued to chat, the comical mishaps seemed to bond us closer, each one a new thread in the tapestry of our encounter. I noticed the way her eyes sparkled with mischief and how her laughter lit up the entire cafe. Despite her initial aloofness, there was an undeniable chemistry brewing between us. She was as captivating as a book I couldn't put down, and I was starting to think I'd accidentally checked out a bestseller. Eventually, after more playful banter and near disasters, Maya received a text message and stood to leave. "I should probably go before you turn me into a full-fledged coffee stain," she joked, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, an innocent gesture that made my heart leap. "Wait, can I at least have your number?" I blurted, feeling a mix of urgency and hope. She hesitated for a moment, a playful smirk on her lips. "Sure, but only if you promise not to spill anything on my phone." With that, she scribbled her number on a napkin, and just like that, she was gone, leaving me with a damp laptop, a racing heart, and a napkin full of potential. Thanks for joining me on this little caffeine-fueled adventure. If you felt the spark in today's story with Maya, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep exploring the quirks of romance together. And remember, no matter how breathtaking someone looks, you'll never know the flavor until you take that first sip. So be bold, Savor the moments and trust that sometimes the best stories start with a coffee spill. Catch you next time.